What if I told you that the very fabric of our reality is encoded in ancient knowledge hidden in plain sight within a list of kings, a blueprint for creation itself mapped out thousands of years ago? Today, we're diving deep into the matrix behind existence, a pattern that has echoed across civilizations and through time itself, from the sacred names of God in Judaism to the 72 fragments of Osiris in Egyptian mythology, from the 72 guardians in Hindu texts to the 72 stupas standing tall in the world's largest Buddhist temple. We are following a trail of numbers, symbols, and connections that may hold the key to understanding the very nature of reality. Could these patterns be guiding us towards something greater? Why does a circle have 360 degrees? Who decided this? And how does it connect to the way we measure time? 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes in an hour? We take these numbers for granted, yet they hold a deeper significance rooted in an ancient counting system. Base 60 mathematics, a method passed down from a civilization that seemingly emerged out of nowhere. Sumer. 6,000 years ago, most of humanity was living a hunter-gatherer existence. Then suddenly, in one specific place, everything changed. The birth of the first cities, written language, advanced architecture, the wheel, complex mathematics, all appearing as if gifted overnight. And according to Sumerian records, that's exactly what happened. They didn't claim to invent this knowledge. They said it was handed to them by beings from the sky. These beings are often depicted carrying mysterious handbags, seen not just in Mesopotamia but in ancient sites across the world. What were these bags? Were they symbolic of something greater? Some believe they represent knowledge itself. Knowledge encoded into numbers and geometry that still governs our world today. Let's talk about Earth's motion. Our planet rotates, orbits, and wobbles on its axis in a cycle known as the precession of the equinoxes. This wobble takes exactly 25,920 years to complete, an eerily specific number. But here's where it gets undeniable. When we take that 25,920-year cycle and divide it using the ancient Sumerian base 60 math, we arrive at the foundational angles of sacred geometry, 360 degrees of a circle, the sum of a hexagon, the dimensions of a pentagon, and the number 432, a number found encoded in mythology, architecture, and even the very speed of light. Coincidence or a message? The very way we measure time, space, and movement is not arbitrary. It aligns perfectly with harmonic ratios, suggesting that our universe is not just geometric, but also harmonic in nature. The Fibonacci sequence, the spiral of galaxies, the growth of plants, the pattern of seashells all obey this same mathematical structure. What if this is a language, a universal code embedded in everything around us? Now let's return to the Sumerian kings list. This ancient text written in cuneiform describes rulers who lived for tens of thousands of years before a great flood reshaped the world. But the real shock, the first three kings ruled for exactly 288,000, 360,000, and 432,000 years, a sequence that matches the harmonic frequencies found in music and geometry, a numerical signature left behind, waiting to be decoded. Could it be that we are living inside an elaborate design, a cosmic escape room with clues left for us to find? If so, then these ancient codes, these geometric patterns, these harmonic frequencies, they might just be the key to unlocking our true potential. We are on the verge of something massive, a rediscovery of what was known long ago, a realization that these so-called myths and legends might hold a profound truth about our universe and our place within it. Are we ready to listen? The hidden code of creation, decoded. What if I told you that the matrix of creation itself is encoded in an ancient king's list, one of the most mysterious and profound artifacts humanity has ever uncovered? And what if I told you that the first three kings, the Holy Trinity, are like cheat codes given in advance, waiting to be unlocked? Today, we're diving deep into the hidden structure behind our reality, the numerical blueprint that civilizations across time seem to have encoded into their most sacred texts and monuments. Is there an underlying matrix governing everything we perceive as reality? In Judaism, we see the 72 names of God. In ancient Egypt, Osiris was torn into 72 pieces by the lords of the underworld before being reassembled. In Hinduism, there's a legendary battle against 72 jinns. Even in the Quran, the number 72 appears repeatedly. The most famous reference? The 72 virgins awaiting martyrs. And in Buddhism, the world's largest Buddhist temple features 72 bell-shaped structures called stupas. We are following a breadcrumb trail left throughout history. The question is, where does it lead? Why are there 360 degrees in a circle? Who decided that? Why do we measure time in units of 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes in an hour? Even our planet is measured this way. Nautical miles are based on a 60-based system. Could it be that this entire structure is not random, but designed? Here's where it gets even more intriguing. This entire system is built on what's called sexagesimal math. Unlike the base 10 system we use today, because we have 10 fingers and toes, the ancient world operated on a base 60 system. Why? Because it aligns perfectly with geometric structures. A circle is divided into 360 degrees because it can be broken into 6 perfect triangles, each with 60-degree angles. Buckminster Fuller, one of the greatest minds of the 20th century, called 60-degree math the key to understanding nature. He even coined the term synergetics to describe how this geometry defines everything, from the smallest structures of atoms to the vast architecture of the cosmos. But how did humanity arrive at 60? Where did the system originate? The answer takes us back 6,000 years to Mesopotamia, to Sumeria. Before this time, humanity lived as hunter-gatherers, moving from place to place, wearing animal skins and using crude tools. Then, seemingly overnight, a modern city appeared. The world's first pyramidal structure, the ziggurat. The world's first written language, cuneiform. The world's first wheel, first sailboat, first loom, first mathematical system. And yes, the 1260 counting system. Where did this knowledge come from? We can read what the Sumerians themselves wrote. Their answer? They did not invent it. They say this knowledge was gifted to them by tall beings who came from the sky. Now, consider this. Earth has a spin rate, an orbit rate, and a wobble rate. That wobble, the precession of the equinoxes, takes exactly 25,920 years. This is a physical, non-arbitrary number. But here's where it gets mind-blowing. When you apply Sumerian math to this number, the results are astonishing. 25,920 12 2,160. The exact diameter of the moon in miles. 25,920 24 1,080. The sum total of an octagon's internal angles. 25,020 36 720. The sum total of a hexagon. 25,920 60 equals 432, a mystical number found in ancient temples, texts, and music. Where did our measure of a second come from? Take 12 hours, multiply by 60 minutes, then by 60 seconds, you get 43,200 seconds in a half day. Double that for a full day, 86,400 seconds. Now take the sun's diameter in miles, 864,000. Coincidence or design? The number 432 appears everywhere, from ancient temples to the frequencies of sacred music. And when we take the number 432 and square it, we get 186,624. Uncannily close to the speed of light in miles per second, to 186 then in 282. This is not random. We live in a harmonic universe. Geometry is not just the structure of our universe, it is its language. And if geometry is the backbone, then harmonics is the voice. Everything vibrates at a frequency, and those frequencies are built on the same mathematical patterns we see encoded in ancient texts. Take the Fibonacci sequence, a spiral that governs the structure of galaxies, shells, hurricanes, and DNA. What happens when we convert Fibonacci numbers into sound frequencies? They form perfect musical harmonics. Our very reality is singing a song, one we've been programmed to recognize. Now let's go back to the Sumerian kings list. This is a real physical artifact written in cuneiform 6,000 years ago, describing rulers who reigned for tens of thousands of years before a great flood. The first 3 kings ruled for exactly 288,000, 360,000, and 432,000 years. The same harmonic numbers. This is not just mythology, this is an encoded message, preserved for thousands of years. And it doesn't stop there. These same kings are depicted holding mysterious handbags seen across ancient cultures, from Sumeria to Egypt to Mesoamerica. These bags contain secrets that perhaps were meant to be rediscovered. Now here's where it gets even more fascinating. These ancient figures are often depicted holding a pine cone, Archaeologists say they are farmers scattering seeds. But look closer. This is not a pine cone. It is the same structure found at the center of the Vatican. It is the pineal gland, the seat of consciousness. Is it possible that these ancient beings were activating human consciousness, that they left behind codes, frequencies, and geometric keys like an Earth-sized escape room waiting for us to decode? What if reality is a hologram? What if these numbers are the cheat codes? It's time to wake up. The keys have been hidden in plain sight. The question is, will you unlock the next level?